Hello, it's Valerie, and I wanted to talk today about my speaking. I have been invited to venues, different groups, community groups, who want to know about what I do and how it applies to them. And this just happened yesterday, so it's a good example of this. It's been a while because I've been so busy with counseling practice. And so now this woman called me and she said, "Hey, I heard you speak in 2009 and I've been following you ever since. And I'm in your Facebook page. I follow that and I read all the things that you post. And I follow you on Instagram and Twitter." And I was like, "Cool." And I said, "What's going on? What are you looking for?" And she said, "Well, we have this nonprofit and we meet every week, or we have a speaker at some of our events. And it would be a combination of people from all age groups, and from teens up until older adults." And she said, I'm interested in what you do and how it applies during the pandemic." And so we came up with a title, Emotional Wellness and Stress. And now my little brain, we set it up in March, and now my little brain is going through what I want to include. And so the speaking that I do is related to my work, but it highlights certain aspects of it based on the organization, the group of people, where it's going to be. I like to include activities, things that are something that people can contribute to the event, so the content is co-created by me and the group. So I get feedback at the beginning, who's in the group, have activities to do. People tend to engage their learning better when they're actively doing something, like a kinesthetic learner. I do the auditory learner through my conversation, and the visual is the handout and any paper or activities they get to see. So I get feedback from the audience, always come with topics based on the person who's invited me. And then it takes on its own life while I'm there. It's not like me delivering predetermined content, if that makes sense. They're going to get enough brain food. They're going to get information, and that's part of the handout. But the interaction and the shared energy field is what actually makes the event super impactful for people. So it's customized. It is co-created with the group and myself. And there's opportunities for continued learning and growth. Even while we were talking, she said, "Ooh, put that as a resource at the bottom of your handout." Cool, I can do that. And I said, what I bring is going to be activities. That's going to be color and, things to touch, basically. And she said, "That's great, So it's like giving a little bit of sampling of who I am and what I do. I think it's also important at this speaking is that I am a self-projected projector in human design, which means my throat or my voice is the authority. And so it's so interesting to see how that played out in my life, including in my undergrad degree of social work. Before I declared a major after 4 quarters at Auburn University, I had taken as electives 3 speech classes, and I enjoyed them very much. And not because I was confident or that I thought I would be a public speaker, but speech was interesting. The other classes that I took for electives, well, I didn't know there would be electives, but when I declared a major, I was able to use these classes as electives. So when I took them, I was just taking them because I enjoyed them. The other one was philosophy. So I have three classes, which is 9 credit hours in a quarter system, back in the day in philosophy. So speech and philosophy were what I call a double minor, but is really they combined to make my minor. My major was social work. So I'm always motivated by people. I'm motivated by interest and being recognized, remembered, and invited, and having an opportunity to share in a co-created space. So it takes on a life of its own. And I'm excited to get to do this presentation. It's presentation loosely. It's not like, like in trainer speak, you have this binder, you have to listen to a day or hours of training. But the way I do it, it's more interactive. And I don't think we're under-informed, like with our minds or brain in the United States anyway. I think we're under-known or experienced, or the collaborative energy that comes together at times when someone's interested in learning about someone else and the other people are interested in hearing your expertise. So, yes. And I have a lot of topics that I'm interested in speaking on. And if anyone's watching this, they want to know more, I enjoy speaking on the outcomes and how developmental trauma shows up in adulthood. Developmental trauma, less than nurturing behaviors by a major caregiver during your childhood. Adult, hopefully, watching this. Although for children or adolescents, anyone under the age of 18, it can be useful to find someone who's like a mentor, someone you choose, if you don't have it at home or in your family, or your caregivers. I like to talk about neurotypical partners and how they can understand their neurodiverse partner so they can make informed and regulated decisions for their world and their life. Epigenetic trauma is the transgenerational trauma that passes through generations that people don't even know they're carrying and acting out. So that's interesting. And also prenatal and perinatal trauma. So was your mother supported and loved, and were you wanted, and were you planned for, and were you consciously conceived? What kind of messages did you get about you and your place in the world through your prenatal experience and your birth experience? And then you're born into this situation called a family sometimes. Anyway, and I'm also curious about your human design and how that folds in to all of these topics. So I do work one-on-one with clients. I also have an online course called Process Poetry, using language to discover your true self. And I offer customized opportunities to interact with me through speaking events, through online courses, to more in development and all kinds of other ideas. So we'll see how that all plays out. Thank you for listening to this topic, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.